North Korea, the United States, a historic summit, and yet the big winner could be a country that wasn't even there. China, led by President Xi Jinping, didn't get an invite, but two pre-summit meetings between Xi Jinping and Kim Jong-un gave the Chinese leader a chance to make his country's goals clear. And based on what we know so far, China's interests are being served. So consider what we know about China and what President Trump said on Tuesday. The Chinese government hates the U.S. military troop presence on the Korean Peninsula. They have felt threatened and constrained by it for decades. President Trump said this.
I want to bring our soldiers back home. We have right now 32,000 soldiers in South Korea. And I'd like to be able to bring them back home, but that's not part of the equation right now.
China also hates the U.S. military exercises in the region because they're conducted not only with an eye on North Korea, but China as well. China even called for a freeze-for-freeze solution to this crisis, where the U.S. would stop those exercises and North Korea would stop its missile and nuclear tests. The U.S. president said this.
We will be stopping the war games, which will save us a tremendous amount of money, unless and until we see that the future negotiation is not going along like it should. But we'll be saving a tremendous amount of money. Plus, I think it's very provocative.
So, potential troop removal and possibly no more exercises. That's music to China's ears. The government felt so good about the summit, they even brought up sanctions on North Korea, with a Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson saying in part, quote, sanctions can be adjusted accordingly, including suspending or lifting relevant measures. China always holds the view that sanctions are not the goal.
China will be the first one to formally ask for sanctions to be lifted. Before then, I think you will see the implementation already on sanctions very, very lax.
To be clear, negotiations over North Korea's nuclear program are just getting started. U.S. troop removal is not on the table at the moment, sanctions remain in place, and China says it's enforcing them. U.S. officials are also well aware of China's strategic goals and how they'll try and use the North Koreans to achieve them. But still, after one day and one summit, the Chinese government is likely looking at what happened and saying, hey, that's not a bad start.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Matt Rivers, CNN, Beijing.